Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I will not speak about the Iranian bomb and the Palestinian conflict. I will speak about, I think, one of the important things to our children is the education and the education in Israel and how ORT is facing the challenges worldwide and in Israel particularly. My name is Ganon and I'm the Director General of World ORT. I want to join Dario in thanking you for this opportunity to present to you today. I would like to speak today about two of the main challenges facing the Israeli government if and when we have one. These two challenges are education and anti-Semitism. Although not immediately obvious, the two challenges are related. And I would like to show how ORT is perfectly placed with the right support to meet these challenges. World ORT in Israel, bridging gaps in Israel and around the world. As Dario explained, World ORT mission is and always has been to bridge gaps. In Israel, this mission is twofold: to bridge gaps between different communities in Israel itself, and to bridge gaps between Israel and the rest of the world. Education in Israel, strategic threat or vehicle to for growth. Today, Israel stands at a crossroads in terms of the education that it provides to its youth, and the route that the country chooses to take will have a huge bearing on the future success of the country. The results of the OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, do not make pretty reading for Israel. According to their findings, Israel ranks fifth from the bottom in terms of its PISA scores, Program for International Students Assessment, which ranks students' mathematics, science, and readings level. The highest rated country is Estonia. These results are less surprising when one looks at the OECD countries' expenditure per child at secondary level. Israel fares even worse here, rating fourth from the bottom, ahead of only Turkey, Mexico, and Chile. The country spent only $19,000 per child, compared with the OECD average on $25,000. It is putting a great strain on the hard-working educators of Israel to expect them to produce competitive, skilled, and knowledgeable students, where no investments, either of money or of faith in the confidence, is made in their education. With that in mind, it is unsurprising but still shocking to see Israel second from bottom on the table of the Global Teacher Status Index, which bases its findings on factors such as teachers' social status, the level of teaching as a sought-after profession, salary and working hours, and the respect within in which teachers are held by pupils. A clear link has been found between teacher status and the performance of students in schools. So Israel's poor showing here is another clear indicator of the level to which Israeli students are struggling. To make matters worse, many of Israeli students find themselves in extremely difficult life situation. Unemployed or underemployed parents, language barrier, recent arrival in a new country, frightening security situation, living in communities far from the center and therefore suffering from a lack of government investment in general. These students therefore have even more external pressures to contend with, making it even harder for them to focus on their education. The OECD statistics for poverty rates shows a great disparity between different Israeli communities where other Israelis falls only just under the OECD average. The level of poverty among Arab Israeli and Haredi communities is so bad that it drags the Israeli average to the very bottom of the table. The situation in Israel has been summed up perfectly by Professor Andreas Schleicher of the OECD, who has said that Israel is an educated country, but your next generation will no longer be ready for the future. Effectively, the startup nation, known for its technological innovation and know-how, will lose this reputation unless its education improves. But the dangers are more worrying than losing reputation. They would lead to an unqualified, unskilled labor market, a weaker army, a failing high-tech industry, a fallen GDP, and wider, more damaging gaps in the society. In short, Israel has no resources to speak of. Its main resource is therefore its people. And as with any resource, if you fail to nurture it and to help it to achieve its full potential, then the country will suffer. In order to reverse the trend, huge investment, but more importantly, meaningful and well-directed investment is needed. Of course, the Israeli government must take chief responsibility for this investment, but it also falls on the Jewish philanthropy to play its part. And this is where ORT has a crucial role to play. Since the establishment of World ORT in Israel 12 years ago, ORT has invested more than $100 million working to reduce these gaps that I have spoken about. We have invested in particular in the communities in the country's geographical and socio-economic periphery. We have provided support to immigrants, non-Jewish, strictly Orthodox Jewish, Muslims, Druze, Bedouins, and poor Jewish communities, helping them to catch up with Tel Aviv, Ramat HaSharon, and Ra'anana. But as the data shows, what we are doing is a drop in the ocean. We need the wider and more sustained support of both the state Israel and the world Jewry. This crisis takes an all the more importance in the face of the rise in the anti-Semitism around the world. Education is the best and most effective way to combat anti-Semitism. This must begin from an early age, and it is that ORT is working to provide in the rest of the world. Our schools in Latin America and Europe, in the former Soviet Union, are mixed Jewish and non-Jewish schools, and our non-Jewish students study Jewish history, culture, and traditions, encouraging increased understanding between students. And we are partners in the Scholars Program, as Dario mentioned, the POP initiative to encourage understanding and cooperation between youngsters of all backgrounds all over the world. In addition, we have always run Tikkun Olam programs and initiatives to support non-Jewish communities and take social responsibility around the world. These initiatives are all geared towards providing not only an academic education, but also a social education, encouraging our students to be good citizens of the world, promoting Jewish values of love for one's neighbor and for one's environment. These aims, a strong Israel, a strong diaspora, and a strong reputation for Jewish worldwide, which in turn will help fight anti-Semitism, are what ORT has been working towards for the past 139 years. As we approach our 140 years anniversary next year, we will not rest on our laurels, but will continue to strive to place the future in the hands of the next generation. Thank you very much.